And everything that was hopeful. And everything that was hopeful. Fall apart for you to be the footman, and I should not be the gun. And everything that was hopeful. Fall apart for you to be the footman, and I should not be the gun. So one half left, and this is not the coat. The senior hot service for the one to help you to come to the land. I can be the only go to temple. You can follow for the good with a reason to find out who feel to serve. And everything that was hopeful. And everything that was hopeful. Fall apart for you to be the footman. I should not be the goddess of one half left, but this is not the good. I can see the hot service for the hand to help the be to come to the land. I can be the only go to tent. They can follow for the good with a reason to find out who feel to serve. For the mind, for the eye, for the eye, for the charitable, being a need, for the like of the money, for I have little, for that, but the spirit that gets me, I can have the quarter. And I'm dancing the room where I'm going. Where the half of the not new, for the money, for the king, and my heart, and I will not matter for the matter, and God, the battle who robbed you, it can only be the pain. So you're the name for your, and I cannot tell you, and I, what you, this is that, the whipped out of yourself, I don't know if you know what happened since you play a part for the process, and this is going to be passion, and mercy, and maybe the crowd, and goes on, the middle of the thing is why I can do not live in hand, and not the live, and have the flame, and natural, passion, and self, and under the break. Maybe some of the those in the repo, the palm and stuff, and the arms of folks, and waking up the bears, and the bears, the babies, and maybe they put them into the prepare with enough to more than the college. Maybe if you hadn't been looking into these people, you had a rain across the earth, but that way you had as you know. It was much better than it was for the camp, and you could fall off from place and places between yourself and do the shearing for third shoot. And maybe that person is not enough to purchase your spice. Maybe it's not for the shepherd that's shearing too. Maybe it's not that you bring another brother shepherd who can prove the sheep. You can erode the names and put that different to the church. Jog on and run. Maybe the merit that you could stop, and maybe the ghost of it. Despite satires and maybe mold the compensation where the resources come from, outcomes in exchange with flesh with that love comes. Maybe the battle can find yourself is true. Maybe the truth is the thinking of you, and the justice to hand on it for the witness and only the fact of the feeling, the sensation of the feeling. Maybe the house on nerves of the days and the going big and start for the west when it seemed the same request. Maybe the singing the part, maybe the three parts, find the tuning within the heart, maybe the have it with you as an iron. Maybe the find with the road to tell the secrets of we can go with the new part, the new can go after the more work and you separate. Maybe the bonding on yourself and find the talking and maybe after the mind. Maybe there's something you can go to find the binding faith. Maybe the cake for the dance, for the rain for the dance, and maybe the understanding of the center, maybe the center of the universe and Lincoln Center of your modern society. Maybe the playing in the park with the cast and the mask, and you could find a sonic signature on your cast and maybe the cast away like I was, Tom, or Tim, maybe either way, but the past and the decisions or your deliverance in time. And it's to be a claim for more rich over for you to understand the throne, the key, and maybe live the life of the honor with the spirit, the space with the river, the mind, your own conscience, the light and the grace, and it never became uncanny with the willingness and the act, and finding the living with the spark, the hearts and maybe for those, and hearing maybe less of the end for the grind, for the blame, for the witnesses of one of your independence, and understanding the sleep of the form, the self that you will never be the sustaining due to me. Find myself in house, release you clear for pursuing justice and of course, I get the location, maybe the duration, the person, and then maybe the appearance of will for the indictment. This is me, as a full abuse of the deep against me, contrary, allegiance for real and true, the subject of counsel, and maybe the better safety than flying away by the night. This is must be for that. Calculation and activation, maybe the two very good, tragedy, and the understanding of the heart. I can live belief and understanding the heart. Maybe the sin and the place with the heart, and understanding the grace of the kingdom is maybe the full hand for the man that understands the ignorance of my age. Maybe the door for the familiarity, then maybe the conjunction, and maybe the place of maybe pushing the two in this place of dispatch. Yourself, for the jurisdiction that understands the business. It comes from the total creation. You wave, I can, with that spirit you gave. And now, with that petition, may be provided what was moved from the highness of you taking the part of you at first. For the sun's sake, for the thereby, for the stealing and injury in your tongue, and the courts and kingdoms, and known all our lives to you. For this does has to advise me to blemish and through the honor for the eye, none for the countenance and the clear. Friendship, witness, and feast. Keeping that for the wholesome and the only, to account of yourself as was casting the eyes upon the good and the evil, inclining them to both. With the mind, my wife's liver infected as hers in life, for myself, for the hour, the running glass of the mirror, to wear my life as a meadow hanging. I see life for the mind, life, therefore for the drip light, and everything for the man, as I remember the heaven of the sea, the earth, the gas, and was mine. Last of all, drop me to find the fortress, I cannot back or to be dread of the mistress. Sorry, be the I have loved you, make that question, do I think I'm so meant to be myself? Simple as can be, simple never says so much. And your love for the printing of ever since. You to be pleased when not to come in, but quickly. Why not to stay there? You'll know more after. Is it too far gone for the time to depart then? He's the simple one who tells too much, and near for the heart is full of something that is not mine. It was young, it was handled as wrong, it was love as you do, I won't load you full of shit. I was not the ransacking of some treasure that poured into the acceptance and yet let go for the mockery and maybe the martyr within if you can last your interpretation to find the abuse and call this slack of love for the bounty. You were straining for the reply, at least if you make a care for the happy holding of it. Maybe I was to know for the prize and such a purple essence would be the gift for the looks and the surprising and the lock gift up in the heart for the I can give and not ready but not delivered. Maybe the breath of the life of the before the ancient and maybe it should seem as something more than a mansion, a soft dove for the downing of the white within it, and maybe the Ethiopian, maybe the fall living of this and the pretty young and swing, but not to be the vain for having put it out inside the prestation. Maybe the prosperity, maybe the witness, maybe the neighbor, maybe the love for the God for who was really worthy for the eyes they swerve, for the force of knowledge and the more than the ever American never prized himself with the combination of the whether you could service your politeness or your health in the show, the sound of affection, and you could be the shepherd and like a knock and speaking, you could find the patterns in my own thoughts, and maybe you can cook and put the parody, or maybe the parody, or maybe the understration of the you and the virtues. Maybe I can wonder about that you can come in. Maybe the dollars from yours can find the same for those who are marching for the supervision of those who have great pains in the act of your division, authority, or understanding your alterations, the quotations that you can find within the casting of spells to touch relevant, providing your own self and accessibility for the indispensable source of information that's written not so to you to be distinguished and not drawn. Obtrusive, alterating, you are more than a sensitive to supervisor for the incorporating of yourself through your volumes and what it contains, my brain, my heart, my left, my organs was playing the same song, but then it was just late. Melancholy for what it was late. It is you, for now we don't speak for ourselves. We are bruised by something that put what's on. For your damnation, it will be the villain. Maybe the thought that for you to be the 11. Or maybe it was proven true for the superstition that made the honor. Maybe the goal for the fortune, I can never false generate. Maybe these are coherence in your genetics. Maybe the production and production in your smell for the line of a business. And your sense to be others for more than a road. For the code for the only instruments that you can be held. Maybe the grave, too honest, and told to hold it home to death to build the earth and I can rock what is lacking. Look at the carbon footprints you bring and how you might. Maybe I can even find a communion of this and you can rather follow. Maybe the instigation of Instagram. Maybe the councilman's your natural goodness. Maybe it's the parcel that finds the stupid finding the stupid in skills. Cannot, willing, or will not. Maybe the foe for those who do be doing for torture and manner no matter lost the game. Ring for the ring now. Confident yours and I wish my lineage were overturned. By the age and the familiarity of life and the education that it conduct. Don't be the scene, the circumstances and what it is for the succeeding. And an act of importance, be sacred, be temple. We confine to the confinements of the orbital. We bring safe some time for the spiritual council had. Maybe the spur for me for the I done well. Lord, I done my part for the love. And the love I done it for you for the orbital. It must be the midst of others who are not ignorant and cruel to you. I will not be the prerogative. Natural goodness, I will be not stupefied. Cannot and will not and have no meaning for the money or the evidence of the meaning. Maybe the advice will not bring forth your prosperity, yours and ours, and wishes leads and here to leaves your side of judgment, live free without the overturning of your loneliness. Your politeness will find yourself reasonable. For knowing it isn't heated, you can find it all. For the mindfulness of your pretty much and got studied to come to table. Periodically, for once more, if it's not farther forth, again capable of reasonable affairs, you can be stupid, but listen all kind of rhythm. You can speak with any hour, no man for no man dispute. Your lies, not there for the reading. There's nothing but what the divine and childish and listen be the health and anchor of strength. Indeed, for the noble have to be the rage and age. Let the views, but the offering. What's wrong? Something you were for unfulfilling and reason to pursue. Trying to sign find yourself in the wife for good reason for to find yourself posterity. Maybe into the council and such a business as such. I yield all for some reason my grave serve and I confine and not to the acquaintance of the father of the business. Let him know that he shall not. He must be. With the choice for the marking of the divorce when I can find a dare not to call for thou to these. The fretting of the sheep and hook. The old trader for the side by the hanging of them, for the shortening of the life one can reckon thou for be the peace and there can find excellence and who's the force of knowing the road fool that's the cope with the heart and have the beauty to stretch without the prayers are made for the humble and the state. Maybe the fine one, maybe the more for seeking and working in the rack of the bar for these such and sacred occasions and hold deep for the blood, not for the kin, not for the fairness and the mirror for the time for the those to follow displeasure and free
free the dead for the blow of it. You must be enchantment, ready for the herdsman. Maybe him to call himself and for the honor for therein. Unworthy, your hair up and there out for the bruise. Maybe the entrance and opening, and maybe the mouth, maybe the table, maybe the elements and whipping bombs are able. You don't watch the provision like catering. This is the reason to find me some element in unlimited elements. It won't leave you to the stagnation. Patience, waiting for the winter still. Maybe the hopping of the body for more, for the embracing of the what divides, and maybe the death and cruel, the heart, and maybe the doubt, maybe the undone. Maybe it was the much after with the Lord and twice as being yourself, for the name for the surrounding of throne and court, and you can be a light. You to be the shadow, on state of care. Dream for the mind, for now, for the being away, for the only I can find an inch farther into the weeping of the cave. How far did you go to dare, not let the run know? Maybe the lonely thought for fulfilling yourself in the quiet knees and rain for the dying bed of your job. Or being alive for the consciousness and surrounding you. The piece of it being the shovel of dust, erecting your heart. Maybe for the meaning of the faith is undone. Maybe to die for the opera and unknown honor. Maybe the afraid of these land yourself for the strain that came plucking on your eyelash. Maybe the temperament and not to speech. Maybe the fear of the highness and maybe the settling off for the I fear and cannot. And maybe think of the witness and maybe the even maybe the dignity. Maybe the last, maybe the foundation of your faith and maybe then the nature crush. Besides, the earth together with the Mars seas within. Looking up to the high look for the succession and wiping of your body for the planet with the reflection of it. Maybe who bothers? But the reason who to find out your beauty and have no reason to the senses and better to please your what the madness and did it become when weather was desperate. So call it fulfillment or vows. I never needed to be the honestly in you when you're behind to find yourself to pump some glean for your health to be clean and wounds to find the profound that can hide it within the fathom goodness and the and Father to bend the honored and maybe the necessary self and find the see no more. Cast it off like a chromecast. Or maybe it was a cone for the silver of gold, for the alchemy and the esoteric and gold. Maybe the royals, the fire eye for the highly razors, and the nature for the distant ever release, and the fasting, the tilde, no need for the money, for the other because only holding the bed out of an Irish and tail. Ears from tail for the tunes, and she can never come better off, and shell can come in, but maybe too well for the light manner for subtle, maybe half wrong song for those who find all sides within these to be without the bill, the ball, the baby, the thumping it over the matter, the air, the manner, the foul. Whoop, we come to the harmony, only pulling off your slight with some good in conversation. The meaning of slights and within their eyebrows and that wave. The brave, the fellow, those believing who find that admirable and find sense of sensation, the understanding the seeds that was planted in the vine. For you to be wise who sings the song, who can never look smart and look at those squares within the denominations of physics. Their understanding of concepts. Stand up upon the banners and swing time again. As a good shepherd would for the fair, for the swain, for who does not dance for the daughter, for they call me high. I am boasted with a hint of him, and we're feeding for the habit, get on the report and I believe it. Maybe I look for the soothing and say that for my daughter, when I think it for myself and the sons. Maybe the gaze upon the moon and upon the water when I stand upon the red, and maybe the eyes of those who be plain. Maybe it isn't for the kissing, or the choice for those who will never know the best, and maybe the dancing at the feet with. Maybe like a shepherd, she does not know before the report is, and that should be silent for the young. Or if the dark of too light upon her to find him upon which she was dreamed of. Rather to be a servant and enter that. A servant of the master, but not here, or the peddler did no better. For the labor, the bargain, no pipe, to ever not move.